Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Otaku Heaven coming at you with another manga chapter review. Today I'll be reviewing chapter 44 of Black Clover, and this chapter starts off with Asta protecting Neju, even though all the bad things Neju's done, including trying to take mana from the children and trying to attack not only Asta but the nun and even Gauche. Anyhow, Asta protects Neju, and Neju's like, "Why are you protecting me after all the bad things I've done?" Asta says, "I'm not letting you escape without you paying for everything that you've done." And then he turns his attention over to the big slime ball that was Borrow. After Sally injected into him, he gained more mana, more magic power, basically. And Asta realizes that a sword can actually do a small amount of damage to him. And he turns his attention to Barrow, trying to attack it. And as he's attacking Barrow, Sally's making fun of him, like, "You'll never be able to defeat him. I've cast a spell on him, or I've injected him with this stuff. Sorry, that basically sucks his life force away, but gives his mana power beyond imagination, so you'll never be able to beat him." And then she's aiming and taking her time trying to capture Asta while Asta's fighting him off. And right before she's about to capture Asta with her slime stuff, Teresa the nun jumps in and says, I got your back. I could die from doing this, but we have to let all the kids escape, and I can't battle you with my full strength." And Sally's making fun of her, like, "You should give up on those kids and fight already before you die, none." And she says, "Well, even though it's true that I can't fight with my full power, I can call on nature, and that makes me far more powerful than any of you little kids today." So apparently Teresa has this power that she can pull from nature, not just her own mana pool, even though they've stated that her mana pool is actually in decline in the latest chapter, and she is basically becoming less and less of a powerful magic knight. But she has this thing where she can pull from nature, so she's still able to compete with even the younger people, such as Sally and Asta and Gauche. And then you see Gauche, after he's running away with Mary, and he won't turn back no matter what Mary says. Mary's saying, "Turn back, we gotta save everybody else." And then we got a little back cut scene, a flashback of Gauche and Mary's past. Apparently, they were nobles of the highest rank before their parents died, and their parents left all their money and everything in their will basically to another noble. And what that meant is their heritage basically got passed away, and they were banished from the nobles. So they were just regular citizens at that point. So Gauss had to steal stuff and does whatever he can to basically provide and protect Mary as their kids. And as they're flying away, we go back to the actual current time. Mary is like, "I hate the new Gauss. The new Gauss would never be like this. I mean, the old Gauss will never be like this. You're a magic knight. Isn't what magic knight's supposed to do is to protect people? That's what made me proud of you in the first place. Basically, I want you to go back there and help these people." And Gauss doesn't do that. He gets about halfway there and then drops Mary off with Marco. And he goes, "Did you earn that cloak that you have on?" And he's like, "No, Asta gave it to me because it gives me the courage to fight and protect all the people that I can." And then he states that he'll protect Mary while Gauche is gone once Gauche goes and fights back. And Gauche says, "Well, you better protect her if you know what's good for you." And then curses at him at some point. And Gauche goes back and thinks that Asta and the nun have already left. He's like, "There's no way they're there. They've already left. Everybody thinks of themselves in the end, and that's all they think of." And then Sally's basically commending the nun and Asta for being tough at this point because she can't take him out as quickly as she thought she would be able to. And Asta tells her that, "I'd rather die than giving up." And right at that time, Gauche pops in from out of nowhere, and he sees that Asta's still fighting, and so is the nun, and he's like, "These are absolute fools. What am I dealing with here?" So that's where we left off. The fight's just about to finally kick off between Sally and the nun and Asta. Maybe Sally will probably get pushed back and have to leave later on, but we're about to see what Gauche can actually do when he's uninhibited, when he's not having to protect Mary or other children, or even Asta is in the way, because I'm pretty sure he'll try to get Asta out of the way so he can actually fight Sally. So it'll probably be Gauche versus Sally, or either the nun versus Sally and Asta versus Barrow. That's what I'm expecting, at least. Or he could have made a turn here and make it to where Sally actually captures Asta, and they have to go in and try to get Asta back again. But I seriously doubt he's going to do that, simply because it's already happened once. and it would be a bit redundant to do it again. But overall, we got a lot of character progression on how Gauche was in his past. And the fact that they were actually world nobles, showing us that there is actually a way that you can lose your nobility, at least in this world, because the nobles are sort of evil people, sort of like every other noble in every other anime is. It's pretty cliche at this point, but that's the way they are, and they lost their nobility because of that. But they're still doing well off with Gauche being a magic knight and Mary actually being part of a good orphanage, not a bad orphanage. There's no poor starving kids in the orphanage, so the orphanage is pretty good, and there's no reason not to have Mary there. But overall, we got to see a little bit on Gauche and Mary together as siblings, and the love that Gauche actually has for Mary, not just in a perverted way, but in a sister brother type way. But overall, I'm going to give this chapter a 8 out of 10 just because we got a lot of good progression on Gauche and Mary. And also, we got a little bit on the nun. Not a whole lot, but it's enough to go, whoa, 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 what's wrong with, what's going on here? This nun actually has the ability to do something that we haven't really figured out yet. So I would like to see some more of her powers moving into the future. I doubt we're going to see too much here in the coming chapters, but I have a feeling that if the Black Clover manga actually gets to run for a long time, that she'll come back later on, and we'll actually get to see exactly what she's made out of. And she may even, at some point later on, come back to train Asta, like Asta could go train under her, because her combat skills, not just in mage and wizard spells, are pretty good. So that'll be pretty interesting if the guild leader doesn't wind up training Asta, but that would be pretty cool. Anyhow, that's my review for this, guys. 8 out of 10. Peace.